So we have a throwback review, a retro review today. We have the Transformers animated Voyager class Optimus Prime. If you've been with me since my FX Friends channel, you will know that I already reviewed this figure on the FX Friends channel way back in February 2009 when this figure was first released. And unfortunately, I had to let go of my entire animated collection. The entire collection went like 10 years, but 6 years ago, I think, 5 years ago, I needed the funds and they were one of the first ones to go. And I had a tremendous amount of seller's regret, especially for this figure. I was able to track down animated Prowl. You all know that. You've seen my review of that. But this one was extremely difficult to find. Especially one with complete weapons. Didn't need the box, didn't need it to be mint and sealed box. I just needed complete and, no defects and all that. Now, luckily, my good buddy John has an incredible Transformers collection. I mean, the guy has triples, quadruples, copies, like more than doubles. I know he has triples of almost every single Transformers figure he owns, or at least the popular ones. And I for sure knew that he would have extras of this figure. And I asked him if he wanted to let one go, and he says, sure. He dug it out and he said that I could have one. Okay, he didn't even charge me for it. He said, just hang on to it. You can keep it if I wanted to. And I just made a handshake deal with him that, if I was letting go of a few other Transformers, I made sure to give a few to him also for free. So big thanks to my buddy John for hooking me up, letting me have this Optimus Prime figure once again in my collection. This time, this figure is going to stay in the collection. It's not going to be purged, and it is for keeps because, I mean, come on. Look how amazing this figure is. Back in the day, 2009, Hasbro was really putting out some amazing figures. The animated line, I mean, a lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. I was all over this series. I thought it was a great series. It had great writing. The cartoony look and feel with the Transformers was really refreshing. And the toys, the figures, they were just something else. I mean, sure, they weren't perfect, but they were a great step forward in the correct direction for where Transformers was headed, especially back in 2009. Part of the resurgence of Transformers with the Michael Bay films coming out. It was really refreshing to have these kinds of toys. Really amazing one. Look at this. And Voyager class figures back in the day were just huge and beefy. Feels like a leader class, to be honest. Okay. If you're not familiar with the show is sort of a reimagining of, Transformers crashing onto Earth. And again, it's Autobots versus Decepticons. And the Autobots were, in terms of firepower, in terms of number, they were clearly outclassed and outmatched and outnumbered by the Decepticons. Decepticons had everything, the firepower and all that. They didn't even have guns. I mean, this was a show where the good guys did not have guns. They had stingers, they had tools, they had battle axes, they had this. This is a fire truck's cannon, so water cannon. So no guns, and yet they triumphed over the Decepticons. And this show had figures that had this stylized, cartoony, bordering on anime type of feel to them. And I love it. I love this sort of disproportioned look to the figures. And wow. So this figure comes with a battle axe, which actually transforms to part of his the rear end of the fire truck. Which is actually pretty cool looking battle axe. Optimus Prime always had a battle axe. You can, if you wanted to, I guess you can plug this thing in right here. Yep. Yeah, you could store the axe there. And he's got, like I mentioned earlier, the water cannon of the fire truck, which I guess shoots water. I don't think it fires back. So you can plug the weapons back there. And he still looks cool. It feels like he has wings, jet wing Optimus Prime. And this is the kind of Optimus Prime you want. Very imposing. He's really a strong leader of the Autobots. I am Optimus Prime. What's also cool and interesting about this figure is, because on the show, he's mostly without his battle mask. There's a switch right here that can lower his battle mask and reveal his regular face. Let's have a quick look at that head sculpt. I mean, come on. He was the young leader of the Autobots on this show, and he was funny and corny at times, but when he went to work, he really did a number on the Decepticons. It's a very nice, very unique head sculpt. I love the expression on that face. It does have light piping, I believe. Back in the day, light piping was really a thing. Let me see if I can... Oh yeah, look at that. For comparisons, here are a few other Optimus Prime figures that are in the same Voyager class scale. And you can clearly see how huge Voyager class figures were back in the day, even bigger than the Transformers Prime Voyager Optimus Prime. And you look at this more recent releases of Optimus Prime. The aesthetic is the same and all that. Like I said, very stylized, but very beefy, chunky Voyager class figure. And here he is with a couple of other Transformers animated figures that I've reacquired. We've got Deluxe Class Prowl and Voyager Class Bulkhead. Bulkhead seems to be out of scale. On the show, really beefy, a little bit bigger than Optimus Prime, much bigger than Optimus Prime. And as such, I think the leader class would best be in scale with this Optimus Prime, but I'm just a fan of this Voyager class Bulkhead. I think it's the most accurate looking Bulkhead, very show accurate, so I'm keeping this one instead. And if you wanted to see how the new Prowl fits in, there you go. We have Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Prowl, and well, with a little bit of imagination, I'm sure you can find a way to have him fit on the shelf with this Optimus Prime. But I do hear that Hasbro has plans for animated. I'm hoping we get a better version, another version, or a generation-style version of this animated Optimus Prime. I hope they do a better job with Optimus Prime than they did with Prowl. Articulation for the figure, the neck is on a swivel, not a ball joint. He's got this gimmicky waist swivel that it was pretty useless to me, even back in the day. Okay, the shoulders are on just these incredible joints. They've got butterfly joints because of transformation. They're on double hinges, so they allow you to swing out the arms this far, come back in, and then just reattach and swing forward and backward 360. He's got a bicep swivel, hinge elbow, and a similar inner hinge because of transformation. The legs, he's got these swivel hinge hips. You go forward and backward, you go in and out and do the splits. No thigh swivel, but you do have a knee swivel and a hinge on the knee as well. Not a lot of range of motion for the legs, I'll have to admit. I mean, it's very difficult for him to do a lot of the dynamic poses, but there's enough articulation on the legs to really get him in some decent poses. Okay, no rocker tilts though. It wasn't a standard back in the day, but the cut, or the way the feet have been molded, they're already at an angle, so you can have him in a superhero stance, straddle stance like that. So very cool. Okay, to transform this figure. Okay, this is the exciting part. Well, I don't know. Open this one up. We rotate and fold the panel back up. You see the light bar for the fire truck. Okay, fold the shoulders back. You want to go ahead and detach that panel, fold the wrists or the fists inward. Same on the other side. Okay, and then fold it just how you would G1 Transformers Optimus Prime. Okay, and then the legs. First, you want to untab these pieces right here. Fold them up like this, like that. Same here. Detach. They're actually attached here on the ankles. Fold up like that. Fold the feet down. You want to spring out or just swing out on the springs. They're on springs right here, so they pop into place. Actually, that was pretty cool. I mean, these figures back in the day, they had these spring gimmicks, spring-loaded gimmicks. Is just push in the legs onto the thighs and then join the ankles together. Rotate that waist. See, there's a gear going on right there. And then you want to just fold that entire waist piece up until this thing clicks Let me see if I can still. Okay, there we go. Okay, and it locks in place. Looks interesting, those spin changers. Just so expensive. They're selling for $50 right now. I'm not about to spend $50 on gimmicky toys. Okay, so there you go. That is the basic truck. Very solid looking cab, semi-cab. Yeah, very cool. Very front heavy, but he rolls amazingly well. I mean, for an old toy, look at that. Riveted wheels. No mushroom peg wheels. Wish they would all go back to this. Autobots, roll out. And then the weapons, they do form that part of the fire truck. So you just fold like this. And the shield forms the rear end of the fire truck. You just compress and connect this. And then the water cannon's right there. You can swing it out here. See, friendly vehicle. The Autobots were like rescue vehicles, like fire trucks, ambulances, and all that. Very cool, very solid looking truck mode. And so some final thoughts on this Transformers animated Voyager class Optimus Prime. Man, I'm just so glad to have this figure back. It's still amazing to this day. And I'm hoping we get some form of version of this animated Optimus Prime for the Legacy line. And I hope they do a good job with it. Because the animated line was really, really something close to my heart. It was really one of those series that jump-started my passion for Transformers. And I'm so glad to have these figures back, slowly but surely rebuilding the entire collection once again. Right now, all I care about is just getting Ratchet and Bumblebee. If I get those two this year, I'm going to be very, very happy. Like I said before, if you really like something 100%, don't let go of it. And my seller's regret for this figure just was astronomical. I had to let go of the entire collection because, you know, times were hard back then, and I wasn't in a good place and I had to let them go. But that's all in the past now. Thanks again to my good buddy John for hooking me up with this figure. I really appreciate it, man. And this figure is definitely for keeps. It is still going to get a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of, I guess, vintage, right? This has been what, more than 10 years? This Transformers animated Voyager class Optimus Prime. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.